Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Adam Bergman's Money Makers. And we are live with another episode on this fine Wednesday afternoon. First, I wanted to thank every single which one of you. We are now at 205 subscribers, and it's only been 2 weeks. I appreciate you guys. I want to say it one more time. I appreciate you guys for making the channel as strong as it is so fast. Thank you one more time. Today, I want to talk about Palantir. It's one of my favorite, actually my favorite company right now. You guys know I'm a huge Palantir bull. Ticker symbol is PLTR. One of the reasons why I want to talk about them is because they took a massive hit today of around 6%, with another 5% or so yesterday. But around a week ago, I made a video talking about Palantir has links to Google. Google is the second biggest company in the world, or third biggest company in the world, actually. One of the 5 now trillion-dollar companies in the world. It's absolutely massive. If you missed it, this is what I was showing you. I found this gentleman right here. His name is called Stephen Elliott. What is his position? He works at Google. He's been working there for the last 2 years and 2 months. He's the head of AI solutions, Google Cloud, and public sector. What's interesting in his profile, he says, as part of Google Cloud's enterprise AI and analytics team, I work with our amazing public sector customers and Google Cloud public sector team on realizing the benefits of Cloud plus AI through the adoption of Palantir Foundry on Google Cloud. Well, what does that mean? It's a plug and play of the Palantir Foundry platform that allows you to build on the Google Cloud. Now, it's not a direct partnership. It's more like a loose strategic partnership, which means Google does not specifically pay Palantir. However, they are recommended for use to the customers. Now, Google could have recommended any company they wanted, Snowflake, C3 AI, bunch of other companies, but they didn't. They specifically mentioned Palantir. In the last video that I made, and I'm going to link it at the end of this video, you can watch it after you finish watching this entire video, that he also worked for 8 years for Amazon Web Services. And I kind of made the connection. I'm like, if he works for Google now, Google Cloud AI Services, I would not be surprised if Amazon Web Services, AWS, is also linked up in some way, shape, or form with Foundry. And check this out. Look what I found. Blog from September 15th, 2021. It says, how Palantir Foundry helps customers build and deploy all-powered decision-making applications. So now we have confirmation that Palantir is a loose partner of Google, and we now have a direct correlation and evidence that Palantir is also a loose partner of AWS. Now, I'm almost positive they also work with Microsoft. I could probably put my finger that they actually work with Tesla, and I'm also assuming that they're working with Apple. Now, I have no proof of that yet, but I did make the connections with Google and Amazon. Between Google and Amazon, they're nearly a $4 trillion company. There's only 5 companies that are at that $1 trillion mark for publicly traded corporations. The interesting thing is that cloud, that's the next generation. And a cloud is just a centralized platform where you could build on. Well, they're literally giving the shout out to Palantir that you should be or could be using Palantir. The interesting thing is, not that they're shouting out Palantir, that they are not shouting out anybody else. That's the key over here. For the longest time, Palantir is a taboo. Nobody wants to speak about Palantir. Nobody wants to say that they work with Palantir. However, many companies do in fact work with Palantir, and it's coming out more and more. BP, BMW, Ferrari, so on and so forth. Just listen to what it says and tell me if it sounds very similar to what I just read you about Google. Leveraging data to make better decisions is critical for driving optimal business outcomes. Palantir empowers organizations to rapidly extract maximum value from one of their most valuable assets, their data. Why are they extracting maximum value? Because not only does Palantir give you the data, but they don't give you the raw data. They already perceive and anticipate what you will need with that data, and they already try to process that data to make your life that much simpler. And that's how they're so effective, and that's how they are so absolutely lightning fast in what they do. Today, more than ever, organizations across industrials are looking to artificial intelligence and machine learning solutions as a way of further accelerating and improve their decision making. The reality of operationalizing AI can be complex and costly, however. So listen to what they're saying. That is very complex and costly. But if you use Palantir, they make it happen. They make it less costly and a lot less complex in the long run. They then say this could be for a lot of different reasons. The reason I'm going to read this is because then Palantir is the solution to this, and they're literally going to say that. The end-to-end model development process exists in a silo, far removed from the subject matter experts. Models backed by static one-time data pulls quickly become stale, inaccurate. Model handoff happens between teams without documentation, process, and structure. Models are deployed in a piecemeal fashion into legacy systems and users' interface. Developing a model was largely a one-time process to gain insight or an experiment unaccountable to real business outcomes. Check this out. As I said, Amazon literally says Palantir Foundry solves for the real-world applications of AI, not how it works in the lab. Effective AI is impossible without a trustworthy data foundation, a representation of an institution's decision, and the infrastructure to learn from every decision made. Foundry provides an end-to-end modular and interoperable platform that meets these demands. Is this model an interoperable approach that's at the heart of Foundry's latest integrations with Amazon's web services, AI, and ML tools. That's insane, guys. In this post, we will explain the process of making better AI-powered decisions with Palantir and Amazon SageMaker. And then they go on to explain everything about Palantir and then solutions overview. And then they actually give you this amazing model over here. So then they say solutions overview, data preparation, module development, module integration, module operationalization. And as you can see over here, it says everything's connected to Palantir, Palantir Foundry. Raw data transforms oncology. Oncology is the digital twin where all data relates to some other type of data, and you figure out how one data changes, and that changes the entire picture. And if you don't change this data, if you omit this piece of data, that's going to change the whole picture. It preemptively understands what will happen with the data, but not the raw data, the process data, that it also preemptively thinks that you're going to need. And then it puts everything together and makes you as least inefficient as possible. Not makes you the most efficient, the most least inefficient. And I don't think people understand what I'm saying over here. It's not about making you better. Anybody can make themselves better through hard work and grit. It's about making you less ineffective, which means let's find the cracks, let's find the problems, let's fix them so you can concentrate on making yourself better. Imagine you're driving in a car. You have an open window. No matter how much you crank up that heat, the car is still going to have cold in it. It's not going to be warm. But if you shore up those windows, if you close them up, and if you maybe even put a little drape on them, some tape, well, the car is going to be warm. And instead of blasting your heat on high, you can blast it on low and get more productivity. Well, that's what Palantir does. It figures out solutions to your problems to make you more efficient and more cost-effective. That is the best possible example I actually could have possibly given you. And as you can see, it gives you the data preparation, the module development, the module integration, and the module optimizational. I butchered that name. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I want to say one more time, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for getting this channel to 205 people. The price of Palantir is definitely up over the last month. And it looks like the sentiment of Palantir is changing, both on Wall Street, the retail investors, and the institutional investors. Palantir has a meme-like, culture-like following in their community. However, it is far from a meme stock. It is a legitimate meme business stock. Show me another meme that works with Amazon, that works with Google, all branches of the United States government, and almost all of the three-letter agencies in the United States, amongst a lot of other huge companies and foreign governments. Nobody does that. You can't call Palantir a meme. As a matter of fact, I want to run right into a wall with my head thinking how low the price of Palantir is. But much like Algorand for my crypto play, I think Palantir is just so undervalued and under the radar. So somebody else's ignorance or from somebody else being naive and not seeing the bigger picture, we at Adam Bergman's Money Makers are entertainers and educators at best. We're never a financial advisor. But our job for entertainment is to connect the dots. And when you can connect the dots of these huge companies working together and both of them are shouting out Palantir and nobody else, I mean, it's pretty simple to understand the power of Palantir. I think as we uncover more and more evidence of Palantir working with these huge companies, I think then Palantir is truly going to shine, and that is when we get into the easy triple-figure digit price of every single share of Palantir. As I said many times before, because of exactly these articles, because of the article with Google, we are 100%, in my opinion, not financial advice, going to hit $1 trillion mark, which gives us a 30+ X from where we are right now in the next 5 to 10 years. Thank you. Don't forget to give me the likes, the shares, and subscribe if you like this type of detective journalism or detective YouTuberism, whatever you want to call it. But seriously, thank you for making this channel what it is. Love you all.